Huh? Huh? Uh-huh. Ah. Um. Uh. Um. Oh.
Huh?
Ah. You wanted him to find it all, didn't you?
He had to understand that he had done everything I required of him from the moment he stepped on La Provence. Although, not everything in there was necessarily for his eyes.
You must have known he'd find the letters.
I suspected it, and I thought he would use them against me. But I think the next time he saw me, he realized that another escaped attempt was the last thing I was going to do.
We've heard from one of your victims and supposed evidence of your crimes. Do you have anything further to add?
Désiré Baudru.
Inspector, take your seat.
Please, Judge Bouvier, I can prove to you and the entire court this is Arsène Lupin.
On your own head be it. Proceed.
This is it. Time to shine. Please, just let me be right.
You have said to me, to my face, that you have never lied to me. I hold a man at his word.
Inspector, the relevance?
I assure you, Judge, it's relevant. She said it herself. I believe her exact words were, "A trickster of the lowest form."
No one likes having their misdeeds thrown in their face.
Maybe she wouldn't want to receive them if I've been so rude to her.
He's not fooling anyone. We both know the pain he caused that poor girl.
Inspector Ganimard, guilty or not, I will not have you battering the prisoner.
Nothing. Not even a grimace or a look. That's it. The eyes.
You're treading on thin ice, Inspector.
Allow me this, and I can prove whether or not this is Arsène Lupin. Huh?
It's not him. How could he? How have I lost him again?
It's not him.
Excuse me?
It's not him.
For everyone to...
It's not him. It's not Arsène Lupin.
Order! Order in the court!
The judge continued to question the man in the dock, Désiré Baudru, in case you hadn't caught his name. He informed the court of how he was grabbed by two officers while standing outside the police station as I was returning, a case of mistaken identity to the judge. When asked why he remained in La Santé, he replied, "I had a roof over my head and no worry for my next meal. I don't mind a rat or two." The courtroom erupted with laughter, all except Inspector Ganimard. I'm sure you can imagine the look on his face.
I don't understand how he could have answered Ganimard's questions, though.
Mr. Baudru, having considered all that has gone on today, I hereby declare you a free man.
Could I ask a question?
You are not alone in having questions today, Mr. Baudru. What is it?
Will I still get my dinner?
You can't be.
After the manner in which you've been treated, one last meal is a minor request. And as for you, detective,
Judge?
I would think long and hard before bringing anything like that disastrous display into my courtroom again.
It's Inspector.
You did it! You really pulled it off.
I'm a man of my word.
I can't imagine Inspector Ganimard was prepared to accept it all, though.
Couldn't have said it better, my friend. In fact, he took it upon himself to stalk Monsieur Baudru through the streets, waiting for something to happen, I suppose.
And did it?
It did. But I don't think it was what the inspector was expecting.
Why me? Why is it always me? I'm the laughing stock of the station again. That old man knows something. I don't know what, but I'm going to find out. Here we are.
The policeman from the courtroom. Is that you?
You know exactly who I am, and I want to know who you really are.
I'm sure I have no idea what you mean.
Not giving me a straight answer. You've certainly taken a leaf out of his book.
If you really want to know, look closer. It certainly has been some ride.
I almost caught you, didn't I?
You certainly gave it a good old-fashioned try. 1, you never actually had me. 2, refresh my memory of what I lost while escaping La Santé without climbing a single wall.
Miss Underdown. If this is the last time we stand face to face, I want to see some honesty. Maybe even a glimmer of guilt for what you did.
I regret not showing her the real me from the start. I had hoped she might be present at the trial, and then, who knows?
Hope? You'll need plenty of that if you're going to convince her to be with you.
To live without hope is to cease to live.
Ever the wordsmith. I do have one last request.
I should like to know if you intend to reveal the true state of facts connected with your escape, the mistakes that I made. The words came as an almighty struggle to the inspector, admitting his part in it all. It is to my own interest to surround myself with mystery, and therefore have no fear, I shall say nothing. And now, goodbye. I am going out to dinner this evening. Where do you dine tonight? The inspector continued, still in a state of stunned bewilderment. With the British ambassador.
Your time battling Inspector Ganimard was over then.
I was free to breathe clean air, roam as I pleased, and Ganimard had egg all over his face. I had solidified myself as the victor.
What was next for you? I wondered if you might have sought out a particular person after being released.
Were you not listening? Inspector Ganimard and I had gone our separate ways. He hung up his badge soon after. My days of frivolous crimes were over.
That's not exactly who I was thinking of. I understand you saying that, but your actions say otherwise.
You mean the events at Château de Thibermesnil? I stand by my statement. It was a series of unexpected surprises that might make you think otherwise. It is really remarkable, Velmont, what a close resemblance you bear to Arsène Lupin. If you were not the celebrated artist whose beautiful marine views I so admire, no doubt I'd have warned the police of your presence in Dieppe, exclaimed the host to his surrounding guests. This sally was greeted with an outburst of laughter, but there was one who was not focused on the amusing side of his resemblance, but the opportunistic.
Tonight is a night of celebrations. I look around this room and I see close friends, old and new. Some who began as colleagues, some even competition.
Surprise, surprise. George is talking business.
And that'll be the last of it. Besides, they are now those I consider my most formidable allies.
That's enough of all that sentimental malarkey.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, mingle, eat, drink, enjoy.
While an invitation to tonight's party was the aim of the game, I wasn't expecting to be surrounded by so many former acquaintances. I'll have to be on my best behavior. When am I not? Is everything all right? This is supposed to be a party.
You try enjoying yourself with your captain watching over you.
Have I stumbled upon a Navy reunion?
If I knew he'd be here, I wouldn't. We haven't always seen eye to eye, but he's my superior officer. That's all I've got to say.
I should probably put my hand up to most of the recent conflicts. Let me guess. Captain? Horace Velmont, landlubber.
Well, seafarer or landlubber, it's good to meet you.
Not what I expected. In a social surrounding, he's a different man.
George is a keen sailor and a dab hand with a rod. There's no better pastime, you know.
I am no fisherman, but there was this one time. Well, apparently it got away.
I bet it was a real sea monster. Never mind it getting away, as long as you had fun.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And slipping his watch from his pocket was indeed fun.
How are we supposed to figure it out if you're not going to tell us?
I didn't get to where I am today without solving a few problems.
Or eating a few pies. All right, I'll tell you, but you'll never get it. A beacon through the darkness and struggles that stand before us. Without its guidance, we would be lost, wandering alone, aimlessly through the hardships of this world.
I have no idea.
A childish game anyway.
Why am I not surprised it fell on deaf ears? Except mine, that is. Good evening. And you are?
Le Baron Cahorn.
Riveting conversation, as always.
We frequent the same auction houses.
An art collector. Fascinating. You must have acquired quite a collection yourself.
I did have. I'd rather not talk about it.
A sore loser. Sometimes it's better to just accept the hand one's been dealt.
I have no idea. This is the first time I've left my home in... I should have just stayed.
I'll second that. Good evening.
I've not seen you with this crowd before. Who are you?
Horace Velmont. I only met George recently at a casino and...
A gambling man, eh? You'll fit right in.
I'm currently betting on the odds of you finding some manners. And it's not looking good.
He's not tried to lock you up, has he? Forget it. He's probably not even noticed the resemblance.
I get the feeling there's some history between you.
History, and I wish a lot of miles. I'll leave it there.
That's a shame. I was looking forward to him spinning being locked up into him being the hero.
If I could have everyone's attention for just a moment, I wanted to say,
Oh, haven't we already done this?
you're right, but you're going to want to hear this. On second thoughts, join me in the salon and I'll explain when we're all comfortable. Much better. Now, you may or may not know that you all, excluding my new friend Horace here, have been on the losing side of Arsène Lupin's crimes.
That was meant to be kept a secret.
Airing out everyone's dirty laundry, are you now, George?
I've not brought you here to rub your faces in it. I want you all to be here for his capture. Chateau de Thibermesnil is perfect. The art, the riches, the secrets, he won't be able to resist.
What makes it any more secure than my Chateau de Malaquis?
You allowed strangers into your home, strangers that stripped your gallery and left you
With nothing.
with nothing. While you relied on an inspector, I've gone one step further and found the only man that can put a stop to Arsène Lupin forever. Well, who is it?
Yes, I'm eager to know.
Tomorrow at 4 p.m. sharp, the famous English detective Herlock Sholmes will be arriving at Chateau de Thibermesnil's gates.
When one adversary is defeated, another appears.
Herlock Sholmes? As in...
I was as surprised as you.
Really, Arsène?
Would I lie now? I must admit, hearing of his arrival initially gave me a moment of apprehension, but that was quickly replaced with urgency and excitement for what was to come.
Can't you see we're busy? I would have thought George had checked his guests' manners at the door.
I'm going to enjoy toying with him again.
You know, you remind me of someone. Someone quite unpleasant.
Unpleasant, but handsome.
You've got a better sense of humor than him, that's for sure.
It's you again. He took everything from me that I cherished. It was once a gallery full of exquisite pieces, and now...
Bare, empty, desolate.
Why ask if you already know?
It's not hard to see what the Baron considers important. Nothing makes a man more vulnerable than loneliness, except greed. And he has both in spades.
I was, until it was destroyed at the hands of that detective.
I think he's an inspector. Sounds like he caused more damage than good.
Exactly. And it is me who had to pay the price. Twice!
There's a part of me that almost feels sorry for Inspector Gaminau taking all of the blame. I did say almost.
Good evening.
Aha. Ooh. Oh. Ah.
Horace, my friend.
Thank you again for inviting me. I feel a little...
Intimidated? Ha! Don't worry, they're all harmless. Now go on, make yourself at home. You liked it? I hoped you would. Like I said, most of them have dealt with Lupin. You haven't. I can get an honest opinion from you.
About what?
My plan, obviously. There's no way Lupin can resist trying to rob me. Trying being the dominant word.
Are you going to set some sort of trap for him?
That's the beauty of it. He's gonna trap himself. I think he knows about the secret tunnels, and when he can't find his way out, Detective Sholmes will be there waiting.
He has high expectations of Detective Sholmes and exceptionally low of me. I'd call that naivete.
If you want to be the best, you gotta beat the best. And in this case, that's him.
It's not a little overkill to bring him all the way from London?
It didn't take much persuading. Since Lupin's been on the run, news of his antics has spread. Catching him is as good as a done deal.
While I hadn't expected this evening to turn how it has, I'll enjoy bringing Monsieur de Vannes and his hired detective back down to earth.
What did you know of Herlock Sholmes at the time?
I'd heard of his successful cases, as I'm sure you had. His name was all over the newspapers. Still, it wasn't enough to worry me. If I'd prepared correctly, I'd be long gone before he even arrived.
Leaving another lawman in your wake.
It really is uncanny. If you were next to each other in a police lineup, I couldn't tell the difference. You would not believe the history of this place. I've got a book, Chronique de Tibermenil. It's got everything about the castle, including
The secret tunnels. And you think Lupin knows how to access them?
There's another version of the book that's kept in the National Library, Paris. And would you believe it? It was stolen recently.
He suspects more than I give him credit for. Not that it's going to help him. He's right, though. I'm going to need a copy of the Chronique de Tibermenil from the cabinet.
To show that I'm not a pushover like everyone else. They all had the arrogance to underestimate him. Look where that got them.
And I'd argue that's exactly what he's doing. And with the help of Detective Sholmes, you'll catch him?
The world will know the name. Divan.
I get the feeling Georges is more interested in his own fame rather than seeing me locked up. How disappointed he shall be.
When will they learn?
To be fair to Monsieur de Vannes, if ever there was a trap that Arsène Lupin would fall into...
I just don't understand the arrogance. Why set the challenge at all?
Like he said, if you want to be the best, unfortunately for him, he's far from it.
The landlubber. Yes, my first mate.
Is it custom to bring your crew to parties?
Most definitely not. I like to keep my work and private life as separate as possible, especially with certain members of my crew. Landlegs! Very good. I must admit, I do miss the gentle sway of my ship. La Provence, my pride and joy. What is it you do?
I'm a painter myself. That's how George and I got talking, albeit around the cards table.
He does like his art. You should speak to the Baron. He's a collector, if you can get a word out of him. Indeed, he did steal from me. He terrorized my guests. He was a menace from the moment he snuck on board.
At least that inspector was able to catch him. That must have been a relief.
It was until his trial. You must have seen it. Wasn't even him in the dock. You do bear a striking resemblance to him, you know.
I've heard. I'm not sure I believe it myself. While I don't think the captain has the slightest inkling of my true identity, I don't want to give anyone any reason to be suspicious.
How can I help you? I'm afraid Mr. de Vannes is very particular about the fireplace.
That's all right. I'll maybe head out for some fresh air. If the thermostat is inconveniently placed outside. Nope, that's not. We all get it wrong. Oh. Huh. Huh? Ooh. Hey. Uh-huh.
I try not to when I don't have to.
I'm sure I just heard him say he was the best fisherman on his ship.
Him? He's barely capable of catching a cold.
I was under the impression he was a keen fisherman.
Keen, but useless.
Looks like reminding him of the captain's little white lies could do the trick.
He's not wrong. If my chess partner here happens to secretly be Arsène Lupin.
And before I'm locked up again, that was a joke, just not a very funny one.
He's as incompetent as he is delusional.
One more little push.
We've already been through this. It was that thief in disguise.
Maybe the captain was talking about someone else.
He was talking about me. If he really thinks I'm just gonna sit here and...
Buttons pushed. You should tell him how you feel.
It's not a good idea.
I'll do that. Thanks, Horace.
Velmont, are you up for a challenge? If you can beat me with a single move, I will admit defeat.
How could I say no to another opportunity to embarrass Mr. Roseanne? One move is all I need.
Confident, aren't we? I don't think you realize who you're up against.
Ooh.
How did you? Here, take your key. Oh, I made it easy for you. I wouldn't want to embarrass you.
I'm up for another round if you are.
I would, but I've got somewhere else to be.
Even I felt how satisfying that was.
Monsieur Leblanc.
I'm not condoning your other activities, but there's something about seeing a man like that.
Embarrassed?
Corrected.
Huh? Huh. Ah. Oh. 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 Huh? Huh. Ah. Um. Oh. Heh. Uh-huh. Ah. Oh. Hey. Oh. Huh. Huh? Ooh. Oh. Aha. Huh. Ah. Huh? Oh. Hey.